Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Racha Kodash. Double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to all Akim that are preaching and teaching this word with 100% truth and sincerity. And unto the men, women, and children that are listening and learning. And unto the Bayatha Davada, the elect house of David that is scattered abroad. I give you my utmost and sincere salutations. Okay, what you see here on screen is it's the Wikipedia on the Sackler family, and we're gonna go ahead and go into a little bit of the history. All right, and of course this is one of the Edomite, one of the top Edomite families. And we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna read a little bit. So let's get into it. So the Sackler family is an American family who owned the pharmaceutical company known as Purdue Pharma. So we're gonna go and read in this a little bit. Purdue Pharma, formerly the Purdue Frederick Company, from 1892 to 2019 wasn't a close that out. It was an American privately held pharmaceutical company founded by John Purdue Gray. It was sold to Arthur, Mortimer, and Raymond Sackler in 1952 and then owned principally by the Sackler family and their descendants. The company manufactured pain medicines such as hydromorphone, fentanyl, codeine, hydrocodone, and oxycodone, also known by its brand name Oxycontin. The Sacklers developed aggressive marketing tactics, persuading doctors to prescribe Oxycontin in particular. Doctors were enticed with free trips to pain management seminars, which were effectively all expenses paid vacations and paid speaking engagements. Sales of their drugs soared, as did the number of people dying from overdoses. A series of lawsuits followed. In 2007, Purdue paid out one of the largest fines ever levied against a pharmaceutical firm for misleading the public about how addictive the drug Oxycontin was compared to other pain medications. In response to the lawsuits, the company shifted its focus to abuse-deterrent formulations, but continued to market and sell the opies, as late as 2019 and continued to be involved in lawsuits around the opidemic in the U.S. And it says here, Purdue filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection on September 15, 2019 in New York City. On October 21st, 2020, it was reported that the Purdue had reached a settlement potentially worth $8.3 billion, admitting that it knowingly and intentionally conspired and agreed with others to aid and abet doctors dispensing medication without a legitimate medical purpose. Members of the Sackler family would additionally pay $225 million, and the company would close. So it says some state attorneys general protested the plan. In March 2021, the United States House of Representatives introduced a bill that would stop the bankruptcy judge in the case of granting members of the Sackler family legal immunity during the bankruptcy proceedings. The House Judicial Committee referred it to the Subcommittee on Antitrust, Commercial, and Administrative Law in October 2021. The bill lapsed at the end of the 117th Congress in January of 2023. In September 2021, Purdue Pharma announced that it would rebrand itself as Noah Pharma. Alright, so going back to the main page here. So it said right here that The Sackler family, an American family who owned the pharmaceutical company Purdue Pharma and later founded Mundy Pharma, which is Mundy Pharma International Limited, is a British multinational research-based pharmaceutical company owned by members of the Sackler family with locations in the UK, Canada, Germany, and Singapore. All right, I'm not going to go too much into it. I don't want this to be too long, but Purdue Pharma and some members of the family have faced lawsuits regarding overprescription of addictive pharmaceutical drugs, including Oxycontin. Purdue Pharma has been criticized for its central role in the opioid in the U.S. They have been described as the most evil family in America and the worst drug dealers in history. Okay? Now, a little bit of the history here. And of course, Arthur, Mortimer, and Raymond Sackler, the three children of Galician Jewish immigrants. Galician Jewish. Are members of the subgroup. They are members of the subgroup of Ashkenazi Jews originating and developed in the Kingdom of Galicia and Lodomeria and Bukovina from contemporary Western Ukraine and from southeastern Poland. Okay. Let's take a little quick look into this. So, let's see, contemporary from Western Ukraine, Lviv, Ivano-Frankivsk, and Ternopil Oblast, and from southeast Poland, Subcarpathian and Lesser Poland, Galicia proper, which was inhabited by Ruthenians, Poles, and Jews, became a royal province with Austria-Hungary after the partitions of Poland in the late 18th century. And they primarily spoke Yiddish, so these are basically small hats. So the three children of Galician Jewish immigrants grew up in Brooklyn in 1930s. All three siblings went to medical school and worked together at the Creedmoor Psychiatric Center in Queens. They were often cited as early pioneers in medication techniques that ended the common practice of lobotomies. They were also regarded as the first to fight for the racial integration of blood banks. Arthur Sackler was widely regarded as the patriarch of the family. In 1952, the brothers brought Purdue Frederick a small pharmaceutical company. Raymond and Mortimer ran Purdue, while Arthur, the oldest brother, pioneered medical advertising. He devised campaigns appealing directly to doctors, and enlisted prominent physicians to endorse Purdue's products. As one of the foremost art collectors of his generation, Arthur also donated most of his collections to museums around the world. After he died in 1987, his estate sold his option on 1/3 of Purdue Frederick to his two brothers, who turned it into Purdue Pharma. And it says here in 1916, researchers Martin Freund, however you pronounce that, and Edmund Speyer first synthesized the oxycodone, which was subsequently marketed as the analgesic Eucadol by Merck and Company. Analgesic drug, also called simply an analgesic, antalgic, pain reliever, or painkiller, is any member of the group of drugs used for pain management. Analgesics are conceptually distinct from anesthetics, which temporarily reduce and in some instances eliminate eliminate sensation, although analgesia and anesthesia are neurophysiologically overlapping, and thus various drugs have both analgesic and anesthetic effects. Okay, so you got and it also says a case of eucodolism was first described in 1919, and its symptoms were compared to those of morphine addiction. All right, so these people here, man, they got a lot of the most evil family in America and the worst drug dealers in the world. All right, let's go to the Slovakia for the screen. Let's go to the etym. Let's go to the etymology online. If I can pull an etymology online dictionary, because there's two words that I want to look up and show you all. So we're gonna look at the first word, which is pharmaceutical. Okay, so what the hell? Oh, there we go, right here. Let me zoom in on this. I really wish these ads would stop popping up. All right, so pharmaceutical, pertaining to pharmacy or the art of preparing drugs. 1640s. Pharmaceutic in the same sense is from the 1540s. From Get out of my face. Oh boy. Okay. Now it says here, from late Latin, pharmaceuticus, of drugs, from Greek pharmaceutikos, from pharmakus, prepare of drugs, poisoner. Poison. Remember that word, poison. And what do these drugs do? They're addictive, and people have been getting deleted from overdose. So, poison. Okay, another word that I want to look up, because this is one of Esau's, because this word will explain one of Esau's tactics. Oh, Slovakia. Advertisement. Of course, this thing's messing around. Okay, so bear with me one moment. The devil's messing with my internet. Oh boy. Okay, so it says advertisement. Early 15th century written statement. Okay, there we go. Early 15th century written statement calling attention to something. Public notice of anything, but often of a sale. So, and it says from Old French avertissement, later respelled pedantically as avertissement. Let's see. Avertir, to turn, direct, make aware. Advertise, public notice. So let's see the word advertise. So to take notice of, to make aware, call attention, to direct one's attention, to give heed. So this is one of Esau's tactics, to give notice to others, to inform, warn, make clear, or manifest, by influence of advertisement. Call attention to goods for sale, rewards. Okay? This is how he captures your attention. Through these advertisements of these, these products that he releases into the public. Okay? So, going back to Wikipedia here. So, it says here in 1996, Purdue Pharma introduced OxyContin, a reformulated version of oxycodone in a slow-release form heavily promoted. OxyContin is a key drug in the emergence of the opiate epidemic. Okay? So, there's a lot more on this. I don't want to read too much, but, this right here, this is going to be the book of Job, chapter 13. Job 13 and 4. It says, "But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value." Okay? So I just did a little bit of research for you and showed you what pharmacy or pharmaceutical means and what advertisement is. These, again, Esau Edom is a forger of lies through his advertisements. Physician of no value. His so-called medicine, what does it do? It causes addiction and ultimately leads to overdose. This man is a devil. He's the devil. Okay? Going to second, if I could get it. Let's see. 2 Timothy. Let's see. So okay, bear with me one moment. I'm looking for it. There it is. This is 2 Timothy chapter 6. Second Timothy chapter 6, verse 20, and it says, "O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science, falsely so called." Okay? So avoid nonsense. Avoid the lies of this pseudoscience. And the word pseudo means false or fake. It's not true. In verse 20, which says, "Which some professing have erred concerning the faith," which means they went wrong, they went off. Okay? Some a lot of people have taken to this devil's pseudoscience and actually went with it, state and try to, fight for it, stating that it is true, but really it isn't. Okay? And we know that this devil will try to do whatever it takes possible to try to hide his wicked deeds and do things from behind the scenes, like he's been doing. Okay? So, again, this was just a little bit of history on the Sackler family, and it's a damn shame, because a lot of Jakes where I live, man, they really heavily rely on these type of medications for pain, amongst other types of drugs. Our people have been sacked by this devil, no pun intended. But Yeah, so just a little bit of history on the Sackler family and what they're about. So, once again, I hope that this edifying was excuse me. I hope that this lesson was edifying unto the body and to the few sincere believers and listeners out there. And with closing, I'd like to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha Kwadash. Double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to all Akim that are preaching and teaching this word with 100% truth and sincerity, and unto the men, women, and children that are listening and learning, and unto the Bayatha Dabada, the elect house of David that is scattered abroad, I give you my utmost and sincere salutations. See you on the next lesson, Lord willing. Kwame Asherala, Wa Abad Babal, Shalom, Barakatham.